Introspect, take a sec, watch it step, where you step, when you step, falling free through the sky, feel the breeze, feel the eye, all your fears, let them die, energy never lies, introspect, take a second.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let Them Speak, episode 35. This is 35. My name is Cecil. I am your host. Thank you guys so much. If you're watching on YouTube right now, thank you guys so much. If you're listening right now on YouTube, if you're listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, appreciate you. Osahon, don't you say nothing. I feel you coming.
Oh, I was going to say, if you're listening on YouTube, watch it on Spotify. You know, that's what we do.
I actually forgot my whole saying, and Abraham was banking on it, and he's right. Like, I totally just missed it. I missed
last time we recorded
on both episodes.
Both episodes.
Both episodes.
And I was crying laughing at the end because it's after the first one. Yeah. He said,
and I was confident.
I got this.
I was like, I got this.
And then I was
usually I do.
And the next one, and I'm just waiting.
He's at every other. He's at every other.
I said that too, and then he was like, you know what? I'm just going to do consecutive now.
He's like the government payment schedule, 1st and 15. That's what he is. He said.
Usually I do. I missed it. It's all good. But shout out to you guys if you're listening or watching wherever. It don't matter. I don't care. Just thank you. Anyway, the full gang is here. I'm here. Abraham. Well, Dave is not here. Our producer.
Why we got to be a gang? Why can't we be a crew? Why can't we be an ensemble?
Ensemble?
Why can't
I appreciate it.
Always something threatening.
Y'all see me.
Anyways, Abraham is here. Osahon is here. Steven is back. He's here. I'm here.
Why
gentlemen,
can't we be a tribe?
Right.
A tribe?
Yes.
What tribe? Like what?
The 12 tribes of Judah.
The LES tribe.
No,
I don't know what.
LES tribe.
A gang.
12 tribes of Israel.
We gang affiliated.
I
don't even gang affiliate no more.
No,
not anymore. Not anymore.
Would not challenge
Can I
today.
be the tribe of Benjamin? Can I be part of the tribe of Benjamin?
Nah, because Benjamin almost got wiped out, bro.
Yeah, but you know
Judges
what?
chapter 19, bro. Go read that.
Yeah, he did.
But,
Go peek that.
who came out of there, though?
The Apostle Paul. The Apostle Paul. Don't play me.
See?
Yeah, play me.
That's what I was like. Yo, because I was reading my Bible the other day. No, I was doing my devotional today.
Okay.
And it was about the timeliness of God, right? And so I'm like, yo, this one was about the timeliness of receiving God's wisdom.
Okay.
And so it's talking about how, you know, there were certain people in the Bible who, when they received instructions, they acted on it, you know, and they trusted in his word. So you have Daniel when the King Nebuchadnezzar was like, hey, yo, I had a dream. I need y'all to tell me what it was about.
Not Martin Luther King Jr. dream.
No, not that dream.
And he called up all his magicians and everybody, and they're like, oh, yeah, we got you. Just let us know. He's like, no. Because if y'all don't tell me what it is, I'm wiping
Everybody
you out.
did. Everybody getting it.
And so they're like,
everybody
so tell us. He's like, nah, since you say you know what you about this life, you tell me what I dreamt about and tell me what it means. And they're like, yo, that's impossible. Only the king can tell us. So it's like, I bet all of y'all gonna die. All y'all gonna die. Everybody gotta get got.
Yeah.
And so it's like, all right, pull up to Daniel. It's like, hey, yo, what's happening? What's going on? Daniel was like, you know what? Let me go talk to the king. Let me buy some time. Goes to his people and be like, yo, so let's pray to God and let's
hit up the homies and said, let's pray.
Yeah. And so one of the people in the devotion, one of the examples was Ananias. And I was like, yo,
oh yeah,
we always talk about how Saul became Paul and whatnot, but what about the man that made it possible? Like I'm like, yo, we need to show some Ananias some love, because
give him some flowers.
If he was like, yo, God, I'm definitely not doing this. Like, which is what he wanted to do. He's like, yo, God.
We wouldn't have most of the New Testament.
But he had reason to, though.
No,
like, hey, God, this dude out here,
he's tripping.
Hey,
yo, he bugging out here.
He got the orders in his bag right now. I know what he's coming to do.
That's what he's coming here for. He's coming to kill people. Like, man, you want me to go to him and pray for him?
Like, have you heard about his resume?
So
you check his credentials?
So shut up.
Are you sure my name ain't in the bag right now?
Check the receipts. Check that real quick.
He don't have my address.
So that's why I was like, you know what? I want to be part of the tribe of Benjamin.
I say this. Well, I give Ananias credit for this. My man didn't just say I'll do it. He straight called him brother.
Yeah,
when he rolled up.
He did. When I read that, I was
so- I
like,
would've,
"Oh, you
like-
adjusted real quick." Okay,
I ain't there yet.
That's not me.
Brother, because that's the highest term of endearment you
Yeah.
could use back then, was to
Yeah.
call someone brother or
Brother.
sister.
Man, he was
I
trying
ain't
to take
there
the
yet.
edge off. That's what
I
that
ain't there
is.
yet, bro.
That's
I
what
ain't
he-
there yet.
No,
Listen.
wait. He trying to take the edge off. Like,
Call
trying to
me
get on the
brother
good
with a knife
side.
behind your back. Nope, sir.
I ain't there yet. So respect.
I'm good.
Respect to
I can't do that. But
Paul.
speaking of timeliness, before we do anything else, we do want to make sure that we pay our respects to, continue to pay our respects to Brianna Taylor and her family. That is something. It's still an ongoing thing. We hope it is an ongoing thing. The way they're trying to do everything right now. What's up, Dave? So with everything going on with Brianna Taylor, we hope that case gets rectified and soon has some answers quickly. I think recently they just said they were going to release the audio.
They released it today.
They released it today. After the fact, and then there's video on Twitter that says there's a body cam footage finally of them roaming the house, which you cannot do that because it looks like you're tampering.
It's a crime scene.
It's a crime scene. So
the lie about them hearing a gunshot off and then firing is just.
oh no, it's not true at all. Like the boyfriend, they said the boyfriend shot the bullet at them, and that wasn't the case. That wasn't even his bullet. So somebody shot him. It wasn't him. That's pretty much what it boils down to right now.
Probably the wall shot back. What you mean?
Get you a little ricochet action.
All them walls that got shot up, they was like, we doing it for our homies too.
Little ricochet action.
Cue the West Side Gun ad lib.
Can I say
So
something about Dave real quick?
go ahead. He here. Why? I mean, I don't
Dave
know.
is not here.
He trying to throw shots.
He here,
at
but he
you.
not
I'll tell
here.
you right now, because here's what's going to happen. As soon as we press cut on this, Dave is going to say, I'm not here.
I'm not here.
I already know.
Why are y'all talking to me?
I'm sorry, just a figment of my.
He's still gonna do it. He's still gonna do it. No, but rest in peace to Brianna Taylor. Our prayers with that family continuously. So hopefully that situation gets not just resurrected, but really corrected in the right way.
I feel
Moving
like
on.
the
Go
word
ahead.
you wanted to use was rectified.
Rectified,
and then you
resolved.
Yeah,
And then you went with resurrected.
yeah.
Rectified,
Yeah.
resolved.
I was trying to find the right R word. I'm like, either one will go, but
I was like,
hopefully it'll get solved. Speaking of situations getting solved, and hopefully it'll get solved. So Tory Lanez put out an album that I did not hear.
Who?
A guy from Canada. Let's just call him a guy from
The
Canada.
guy from Canada.
He put out an album that I really didn't hear. I only heard one track. All I needed to hear.
Like, of what stature? We're talking a guy from Canada.
4'12".
Black.
Sure, light skin.
Oh, that's not Drake?
No,
It's the only guy from Canada I know.
but this guy. This guy put out a whole album
After the fact.
in the midst of. Did you know about the situation?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the midst of all that hoopla, this man put out an album.
I like the word hoopla.
Fellas, did you? I'm pretty sure I don't think you guys have, but did you listen to?
Absolutely not.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. I mean, I listened to the first track. That's all I needed to hear.
when
Which-
I'm playing 2K, I always like to have music on in the background, and I'll put on the playlist from Spotify. When he hops on, I say, "Hey Google,
Skip.
skip."
Skip.
That will
Skip.
answer any and all questions.
Does he have any body of work before this?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Definitely.
Absolutely, I'm one of the biggest Tory fans.
It does.
I
But
was one of the biggest
there
Tory
it is.
fans.
Was before the gun. He said, "Oh, girl in the
way
pinky
before,
toe."
way before his.
Yeah,
Like,
this-
you know what? Because we started off with KB, Osahon likes to call KB the clearance king. Tory Lanez,
The what king?
the clearance
The
king.
clearance king.
And in terms of getting clearances to samples,
Yeah.
when you listen to KB's music, like he really be getting them
You get some.
the fire ones too, not
Every
the,
worship-
not the weak
Every
ones,
worship
the
song he got,
fire ones.
he'll get it.
So Tory is basically the equivalent of that in secular hip hop, and so not a lot of people rock with his music, but I rock with it because of the nostalgia of the beats he would use and whatnot. Like he was dope, but ever since this whole situation, I can't support that. I can't support you in any way.
I can't
So
go for that.
even though he has songs on 2K, like thankfully 2K allows you to turn off and on songs, so you can do that. And like I said, when I got my Spotify going, I will tell Google like, "Yo, skip." Like,
So my question is this: do you guys think Tory will get the same grace as or should he
Don't do it.
as
Who?
Don't do it.
Robert
Robert who?
got
Robert who?
last name Kelly?
R. Kelly?
Yeah,
No, Robert Kelly.
Robert Robert Kelly. Does is this similar? Is it different? What is? Because here's my thing. I'll say this. I don't appreciate the fact that he just put out a whole album in the midst of this. I feel like you have no sense. It was first off, it was the day or night, I believe, after the whole Brianna Taylor verdict pretty much came. Okay. Where the dude came out and was like, well, they're pretty much going to go scotch-free. The next day, I believe it was the same day, though. I think it was late that night.
He was capitalizing off of...
I wouldn't say capitalizing. I just feel like the sense of awareness. It was 2 days later. It was 2 days later. It's just a lack of awareness.
Wednesday and then Friday, yeah.
It's the fact that, dude, you put this out in the midst of this? But what's even sadder was I saw a lot of people switch up. Like, a lot of people switch up from... As far as they're saying, take him back to Canada and how dare you do this and blah, 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 to the point where next it's, oh, we got an album out? Oh, bet. let me peep that.
Who said that?
It don't matter who. It's just a matter of there's a group of people.
Twitter,
Instagram. It's just people that switch up for the sake of
the moment.
And it's just like, yo, like, do you realize he just shot a whole woman in the foot?
Bang, bang.
Has that been
and
confirmed?
I've heard, huh?
Has that been confirmed?
Well, that's what I was getting to. I've heard people that say, well, we don't know if it's factual yet, and well, I can't judge him for what he did.
We're gonna treat this like the Rihanna and Chris Brown. Well, what did she do?
I think that's a better question though. Besides Robert Kelly, is Chris Brown situation.
I think that's the closest that comes to this is that Rihanna Chris Brown situation. But the whole Rihanna Chris Brown situation, Chris Brown, I don't think ever fully bounced back from that. Because Chris Brown, and here's why. Think about how high Chris Brown was at that moment. Now, Chris Brown,
is he still at that moment though?
No,
bro, he hasn't bounced back.
He hasn't plateaued.
It's not even the fact that he hasn't
bounced back. Wait, bounce back how?
In terms
musically
of
or
the same success?
Public eye.
I think public eye. Like people, let's make no bones about it. Chris Brown puts out hits. Yeah. Think about Chris Brown. What was that? 2005 to when the incident took place in 2008, I think it was. He was 3-year run, couldn't be touched. Wasn't nobody touching Chris Breezy. No. And then that situation happened, and folks, I think subliminally, have said, "Oh, Chris Brown, cool," but it's not. In the back of their mind, it's always going to be Chris Brown.
He still has his loyal fans.
Yeah, he has a loyal fan base.
He had to change up his whole just demeanor. He went from being that like pretty boy kid who can dance and sing to like, all right, I'm a bit more street. I'm a bit more from the
edgy,
streets.
Yeah, his edge, that edge.
I can still dance, but now I got the red bandana and stuff like that. So he had to do a complete character change. Just like in the WWE, where
he went kayfabe.
Yeah, it's like, all right, this gimmick didn't work because you ruined it.
Yeah.
Right. So now we're gonna give you a different gimmick, and good luck with that. So I agree with you. He never really bounced back because he had to change his trajectory. Yo. Can you talk about these amateurs? Because this happened 2 weeks ago.
Amateur hour.
Amateurs.
Like, some people be
I get a pass because it was my first time doing a podcast.
And it happened again.
First of all, pause. This is for the benefit of the pod. Benefit of the pod, but we'll digress.
Beneficial.
He wants you to reset the camera.
No, but it's fine. If the timer, as long as that's fine, it's a reminder.
You have 10 minutes to reset.
10 minutes left. That's all.
Since you're here.
What is this, Tenet?
You seen that?
Anywho.
No, I haven't. I just felt like it was an appropriate reference.
It made sense.
What illegal website have you watched that on? And please share me the link.
I mean, I haven't watched it, but I'm not going to use my streaming site. Huh? What to watch? What?
New Mutants? Wait, what illegal?
Film.
I may or may not have it. Now I'm playing.
You got illegal sites?
I don't have an illegal site.
You got illegal sites?
I got a best friend that got a plug. What?
Dave always want to do that.
How about this? Is it a sin or is your conscience convict you?
Ooh.
I just threw that out there for whoever's wondering. Just
So
back to Chris Breezy though.
Chris Breezy or Tory Lanez?
Yeah, I think Chris
Tory Breezy.
No, I think Chris fell off a little. I don't think he fell off that high just because people just forgot about it. To me, it looked like people just forgot about it after a while.
I don't think they
No,
forgot
they
about
didn't.
it. I think subliminally in
And
the
if they-
same
You know,
way.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
If they didn't forget about it, they probably just make fun of it, but they
I'm
don't
gonna
take
be
it
honest
seriously
with you.
anymore.
was
It's the
just
same thing with Robert Kelly though. In the same way, Robert Kelly still put out
No.
great music.
No, it's not.
That's
He
the
still
same
put
thing.
out great music.
That's not the
Okay,
same.
You say he
That's not
can
the
still
same.
put out great music
he
right
still
now?
does.
No one's.
No,
However,
no.
It's not the same.
how's it not the
It's
same?
not the
Robert
same.
Kelly.
How's it not the same?
Robert
Fam
Kelly's
guy-
situation
Fam guy-
and Chris Brown's situation are
Fam
not
guy-
the same at all.
Fam got whole porns with 14-year-olds. It's not the same thing.
How's it not the same?
Like cases.
You are still holding his crimes. You are still holding his crimes against him.
Huh?
For this. Yes.
He's talking about
How many
internal-
people
He still continues to do.
No.
It is-
Time out.
no, he's right.
Time
He's
out
right.
though.
Here's
Time
the
out.
thing.
Time out. Do you listen to Robert Kelly still?
No.
Do you listen to Robert
No.
Kelly
Well,
still?
I mean,
why do you
if
not
you're
listen?
trapped in the
do you listen to
closet-
Robert Kelly still? Okay. Time out. Why do you not listen to him? Why don't you listen to him?
because of what he did.
Okay.
Because of what he did.
Okay.
There
I see
are
where you're going.
tons
It's
of people
painful.
who don't do it with Chris Brown anymore because
What?
of the Rihanna.
That's
Because of the
very
Rihanna.
true.
I'm gonna be honest
situation.
with you.
So what I'm saying
I
is
still listen to Chris Brown. I'm gonna be honest
I
with
don't
you.
listen to
I
Chris
thought about Chris
anymore.
Brown the other day. The immediate thought was, "Dang, why he had to do that to Rihanna though."
I rest my case. I rest it.
yeah, I don't know. That was
Here's
just
the
rough.
thing.
Here's the
That's
thing
a rough
about
comparison.
The Kelly situation too. Is
No, I
that
think I saw a commercial.
all these allegations first came out years ago.
Years
And
ago. I was
people
still in high
overlooked it
school.
and still elevated.
I think
him.
when people still look at Rihanna, they think Chris Brown.
Nah, I think it's.
No,
I think when they look
no,
at Chris,
no,
they think
when
Rihanna.
I say
here's the
Rihanna, I
thing.
think
Here's the
Fenty.
thing. Here's what I love
I
so
think
much
Fenty.
about Rihanna is that
Fenty.
after that situation, you know how Rihanna bounced back? She was like, you know what? I'm not a vulnerable woman.
that's not
I'm
Robert
going
Kelly,
to
is it?
reclaim
No.
my time.
She
I'm
said
going to
snitch better
reclaim
have
my
my
life.
money.
Wait.
And
hold
she
on.
went off. She became a businesswoman,
Yep.
and yo, she hasn't dropped an album since Auntie, as far
it's
as I
fine.
remember, and that came out in like 2015,
5 years ago,
2016.
she hasn't dropped the album in 5
and
years.
she can still
Wow.
be relevant to this day because she just
All she gotta
took
show
control
up
of
is-
everything.
Show up and talk, and she can get signed to just speak.
Yo,
Yeah, I don't think
I
Chris Brown.
mean,
I think
and
Fenty.
yeah, now
So,
she's getting involved with politics and whatnot. She's doing hard flexes.
Yeah,
she
in
doing her
terms of,
thing.
like she's
She
speaking
is.
out.
Yeah,
She's
she's doing
using
her
her
thing right
voice
now.
to
That's
speak
Cardi
out
B.
about stuff.
She doing her thing.
And I mean,
She's
you
doing more in
remember what
politics
happened-
than
what
a
she
lot of
did-
celebrities.
You remember what she did with Fenty today, where people were like, "All right, we're gonna like close and whatnot." She said, "No, we're not just gonna do that. We're going
Oh,
to
yeah.
direct
Yeah.
you to sources that you can go to."
Yeah.
Rihanna, she glowed up,
She did.
She did.
and
No,
I'm proud of. I love her for
Flipped
that.
it. Yeah, she flipped it.
She flipped that whole script.
She did. I think she just put out something that had like a whole bunch of. It's a diverse picture of like all types
yeah.
of models and stuff.
No,
that she was
today
doing.
she dropped Fenty Savage with Fenty. So
Yeah.
like for men,
Yeah.
it sold out
Yeah.
in minutes.
Yeah.
And apparently they both a good.
Listen,
bet
if
everything
Nigerian
is-
Independence Day didn't take all of my money, I would have copped some.
all of Twitter was like, "Dang, I missed out on this." So
Yeah.
someone tweeted like, "Yo, I really wanted to get something. I missed out, so I just copped the bra." And I was like, "Whatever
I ain't mad
floats
at
your
it.
boat."
Do your thing.
The box was probably expensive as hell. What does it look? At least $50, probably. Matter of fact, I'm about to look it up. But
Whoa,
What?
whoa, sir. Come on, man. You sounding like Robert Kelly right now.
Robert Kelly, no, like as far as pricing, that's all. But as far Dave playing Robert Kelly. Anyways, back to Tory Lanez though. I don't know where he's gonna go with this. I think he just even put out another video, recently too, a music video. I forgot the song, but he's just dumping content, and he just believes like, hey, nothing's been charged. And he said in the song actually, I haven't been charged. So what we talking about?
He's been charged in the court of public opinion, but here's what he's trying to do. If I dump enough content, it'll make y'all forget.
Yeah,
And not just
course.
forget, but it'll make y'all, it'll distract. That's really what he's trying to do, is just distract.
It's damage control.
Did
That's
Chris
all
Brown
it
do
is.
that?
Chris Brown could
apologized on
Yeah,
national
he apologized, but listen, when
It was
folks
also
saw him
like
in court,
20-something too.
yeah, when
Yeah,
folks
he
saw
was
him in
really-
court, forget about it, bro. When folks saw the pictures of him picking up trash on the side of the road, forget about it, bro. Forget about it. There's no bouncing back from that. And then remember he had multiple issues after that.
Yeah, he did.
He had the issue in the club. He had a situation with his bodyguard who got kicked. Like, he had multiple things going on after that. Yeah, Chris Brown.
He was about to have a boxing match with Soulja Boy.
He finally settled down once. Is his daughter's name Royalty?
Yeah, who did he have a kid with? Was it Karuchi?
No,
it wasn't Karuchi. It was someone else. No, he was with Karuchi, but he had a baby with someone else. Yeah.
Once he got had his daughter, that's when he finally
kids do that to everybody.
Started
mostly
stepping out of like all the shenanigans he was getting involved with. You
got a whole world to care for.
We appreciate it because you realize that you can't be selfish anymore. You got someone to take care.
So
of.
What you're saying is we hope that Tory Lanez has a kid. He doesn't have one already. Like Tory, you need to settle down.
I think you do have a kid.
Tory needs to go see God.
Don't do it.
Don't do that.
Dave.
No.
Don't do it, Dave. I already know where it's going. Don't do that, Dave.
I can only imagine.
Now, hopefully Tory gets what he needs.
What I need Tory Lanez to do.
We need him to do. I think he done that.
No, he needs to shoot his shot.
Now, did he miss?
Listen, if you really did this, go on ahead and just issue an apology.
He won't.
Of course he won't. Why won't he though?
He can't
because he knows.
Doing
because
that
he feels like he knows how to do anything.
Yeah, doing that in 2020. You got feminism that will rise up. You know, this is again abuse towards women, and
we're stuck in the moment. Honestly, like you said,
a genuine apology. Think about this: apologies in our time, like genuine, authentic apologies. After folks get pissed off,
if it wasn't, no one's going to cease to think that it's genuine. When you took this long to do it, now it just feels like
I don't think the time matters.
However, the same backlash came at Meg though, because folks were saying it took you too long to speak up and say something. What are you hiding?
But she said her reasoning though.
She gave great reasoning. Tory at this point, I think if he gives a genuine, authentic apology about all of it, even this album,
maybe she was trying to protect the situation.
Yeah, she was.
Well, that's what she
said. Why do we as a public feel like they're obligated like to tell us everything about their personal life?
Because of social media era
demand
has made people think that we know celebrities. Because I can slide in your DMs and say something. Is it that,
or are we just too entitled as a
No. It is social media.
It's social media.
It is social media. You think about, go to someone's comment section and see how reckless people talk. Recklessness. I'm not talking to you like that if there's no social media. But because of social media, we think we can say whatever to whomever, whenever, and it'd be okay. And that's why people listen. I might have to make a shirt that says, "Don't let my social media account make you think you're not gonna catch these hands." That's really
that's a long phrase.
That's too long.
That pricing on that lettering is gonna be high.
Yeah, it's gonna be high.
Because
everything's gonna be small.
The font gonna be like right here to here.
Hands is gonna be in big letters.
Jesus Christ!
Because people need to realize. I think you are not talking to anyone like that in real life.
No, anybody commenting in your comment sections. They would not speak. You know what they would do in real life? They'll see you at McDonald's in the line, be like,
"They gonna pay for your meal."
They gonna give you a head nod.
But that's what needs to start happening. Some folks might need to get pulled up on just, "Hey,
yes.
I heard you said, is this you? Is this really you?"
I know a friend.
I feel like they made a show about that.
They did.
What?
No, they did.
Yeah,
they did. Where they rolled up on people who said stuff reckless in their comment section. I forgot who it was. I think it was someone.
I don't know why I was thinking Cheaters for some reason.
Yeah, side note, I low key be watching Cheaters on Saturday.
Yo, Cheaters be like, it be coming out at 1 o'clock in the morning.
You know why? It's
Take out 9.
Is it real or is that scripted?
Some is scripted.
Some of it is scripted.
Here's when
Oso
comes into the world and you're just watching soap operas at 3 p.m.
Bro, that used to be me.
Listen,
anyways.
Channel 9, when I was like a high school boy, 12 o'clock at night.
So,
anyways,
okay,
go back.
Cheaters. So here's what I enjoy about Cheaters is the intro because it threw me. The intro threw me. Here's what they say at the intro. From Cheaters surveillance cameras, you're about to view actual true stories filmed live, documenting the pain of a spouse or lover caused by infidelity. This program is both dedicated to the faithful and presented to the false-hearted to encourage their renewal of temperance and virtue. What?
They ain't dedicated. They just
it's not dedicated at all.
They ain't dedicated at all.
Matter of fact, is it still going?
Nah, they just throw up reruns. Side note,
They might still get a check.
the third host that they had, Clark Gable III, of relation to the actual Clark Gable who was in Gone with the Wind, died of an overdose. I think that was in 2016 or 2017. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But Cheaters is it's my Saturday morning guilty pleasure. You know what I'm saying? They be having some wildness on that show. I seen an episode. This might have been my favorite episode of all time. This woman was cheating on her husband, and she told him, well, if you really had the Holy Spirit in your life, you would have seen that you weren't satisfying me and that I was cheating. She said that. I said, excuse me? How you going to bring Jesus into this?
What?
Yes. She was dead serious, too.
Yo.
Say that one more time. Run that by me one more time.
She said, if you really had the Holy Spirit in you, you would have seen that you weren't doing your job, and that's why I was cheating. You would have seen that I was cheating. You would have known. She really tried to blame the Holy Spirit, though.
I won't say blame.
No.
I mean, she blaming for sure, but it's just, if you was tapped in, you would have saw.
No,
he saw. That's why he hired the cheaters investigators.
Oh, got you. Okay, I was backwards.
She tripping. She was tripping.
Yeah. Oh,
she tried to throw it back at him. It was crazy.
She demonic.
That is very demonic.
That
Yeah, it's very demonic. No, it's demonic for sure. But yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with Tory Lanez.
I do.
I mean, honestly, do I hope for an apology? Sure. I mean, I don't really care. Like, it's just here nor there. I think we're stuck in a very like moment to moment society to where you can, like he just did. He put out an album, and just like that, people are just, oh shoot, Tory, that thing bang, like, and just forgot that he just shot somebody in the foot. So we'll see what happens. I know even Meg The Stallion put out a record too this past week as well. So I guess they
So we clowning Meg The Stallion.
I didn't clown.
We're not clowning Meg The Stallion, but we clowning Tory because he did his 2 days.
Who clowned?
Your tone was very clownish.
Oh no, I didn't clown.
Wow.
Tone.
He called you Ronald McDonald.
Nah. No, nobody clowned him.
You blew up Wendy's.
No. Nobody clowned him. It's more of you knew the situation. You're involved in the situation, even if you didn't do it.
So why does she get?
But also, though, the content of his album as well.
What was it? I didn't listen to it.
I didn't either.
I don't plan.
But from what I heard from the streets,
the squeaks,
the Twitterverse, like the content was very dismissive of the incident that he was just involved in.
He was in defense mode the whole album.
That's what it comes down to. Instead of just coming out and just manning up and issuing a statement, or have your PR people, if you have any, craft you a very fine statement that neither admits guilt, which I'm not in agreement with, or at least has a thoughtful apology. You instead drop an album, as if to say it. Even dropping an album just comes across as very dismissive. Especially, I think the album dropped maybe a week after Meg had gone on Instagram Live and made the statements that she made about what she went through. Like, it just isn't, from a timeliness perspective, it just doesn't look good. From an optics perspective, it just doesn't look good. So, Tory Lanez, I don't know what to tell you.
Gotta figure it out when you're back in Canada, buddy. Moving on to,
they really did start a petition to get that man
get him man back to Canada.
That's crazy.
Now
they really did though. Change
somebody that you don't know personally, you just heard a story about.
Yeah. But he dropped that in the midst of Brianna Taylor.
So passionate about people
in midst
we don't know?
Of who?
Us as humans, like people that observe.
We are only passionate as we are now because of social media.
Yes. If you just strip away social media, it totally different ballgame.
You don't care.
I would not care.
If they stripped away social media, I'd be looking like this 24/7.
That part.
It'll probably be a blessing in disguise, to be honest with you.
That's why I enjoy the Sabbath days.
that Saturday, boy, my Saturday is clean and clear. I don't know what's going. I come back Sunday. What's going on? Where am I?
What happened?
The world blew up.
What is this?
So y'all don't do nothing on Saturdays?
No,
his Sabbath.
My Sabbath is on Saturdays. I disconnect from everything.
So as far
chat
as
is muted.
Yeah, so as far as Sabbath days,
deleted.
Everybody has a Sabbath. Like, for example, his is Saturday, mine's is Sunday, his is Monday. You won't hear nothing from nobody on those days.
So y'all don't send text
at
messages?
all. I mean, text, yeah. But when it comes to like responsibilities, tasks.
If you text me, it's a 90% chance I won't respond.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
I'm the only
Good luck.
heathen amongst this group. Is that what you're
No,
saying?
you're not a heathen.
You're not a
just not
heathen.
resting.
Basically,
Basically,
just
the
not
thing
resting.
is, on my Sabbath, it's in God's hands. So
It's
go to
above
him.
me.
it's above me now.
It's
So whatever
above
you
me
want to
now.
drop down, I have it. But if you want me to, if you want to take it away, feel free.
Ain't nothing going on. Yeah, it's literally nothing going on. I
Right.
sleep in. I do all that.
Exactly. You got something going on. You just thought of a day you want to take off, but you got something going on, huh?
Oh, I put this on there. It's fried.
But it's all good. So in the midst of all that, we had a certain debate between two men, and
Why you
Democratic
say, Steven? said,
Joe Biden. Joe Biden.
Because he forgot my fries.
Because I
Trump.
want Abe to stop looking at me like he like.
Oh, you
like
forgot
way
the
he
fries.
looking- Yeah, he looked at me
Dang
like,
it.
That
oh,
was the first thing I said.
So if you guys are wondering what's going on in the midst of this podcast, we're trying to order food. We're hungry. Anyways, judge your cousin. Anyways,
Unprofessional. No,
so anyways, so the debate, it happened. Well, the first of three. It happened. Joe Biden, former
wow,
vice
you didn't even
president.
let him finish the setup. You just wanted to
Listen,
dive
he
right
wanted
in.
to go in.
You just wanted to dive right in. Okay, God bless you.
Joe Biden, Donald Trump. You might as well had the Ethan music going on. They didn't no handshakes. Shots were obviously fired. Steven, I know you had a lot to say. I'm gonna let you have the floor right now at this moment.
no, I'm just letting
Get it off your
I'm gonna-
chest.
I'm gonna spit hot fire.
Get it off your-
I
get-
just
get it off-
fire.
Get it off your chest.
The way you talking right now, it better be hot fire.
You took a
and
whole
not-
deep breath while I was talking, so you
and not hookah smoke. Okay.
hold on. Listen, matter of fact, I'll pull up a track just for you. Go ahead, you can talk.
Wow.
Hold on.
I don't think
I got something for you.
Don't do ether.
Yeah, don't do ether. Don't
That's
do
so
ether.
played out. Yeah, don't do
Okay.
It's so done. It's been done.
All right.
Got yourself a gun. How about that?
No Vaseline? No?
So
Okay.
No.
I don't think I ever laughed at a presidential debate before.
Really?
No,
Word?
no, I didn't. When Obama was
Bush?
going at it with Romney, and when
Yeah.
he was going at it with McCain, I didn't laugh. I was cringing because inside I'm cheering. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he got him. But with this one,
Outer cringe, inner
Inner
cheer.
cheer.
yeah, yes. This one, I was literally laughing, and I was telling my wife, I was like, I don't think I've ever seen something like this before. They didn't even debate issues about the people. Like it became about his son and how much of a disgrace his son was, and how his son got money from the Ukraine, and
I'm sorry, you talking about my son. We throwing hands in the debate. Like, don't bring
mean,
my child
like-
up. Had nothing to do with nothing.
it became that. It became like you can't use the word smart ever. Like, don't ever use the word smart because you're not smart. It's like, so it was that. It was, oh man, I was triggered. Like the moment our president,
What triggered you?
when he said stand back and stand by. I've tried.
What did he say? Stand back and stand by
When-
in relation to?
Okay, when they were asking him to denounce white supremacy in America, and Biden was just said, like, he said, "What do you want to call? What do you want?" He said, "Sure, I'll do it." Then he was like, "The moderator, we need a new moderator." The moderator,
Who's the moderator?
Chris
Chris
Wallace.
Wallace.
Did you not watch it?
No, I'm just in case someone is living
Yes.
under a rock or hasn't
Context, context,
Yeah, context is
context.
king. Context
Okay.
is king. Come on,
He
man.
like that preacher
Come on, man.
where he has his assistant.
Kenyon hears this.
Read.
Kenyon hears this, gonna be mad at you because you know context. That man know
Yes.
context.
He
Come
does.
on.
Context.
Shout out to my man's Kenyon.
Because he did mention a group called Proud Boys.
The
as
Proud
well.
Boys. So he said, he said, stand back and stand by. And at that moment, I was like, okay. But anyway, stand back and stand by. And I've tried to recover from that statement ever since he said it because it sounds very cold wordish.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds very what's shocking to me is not just him saying it. When you get on social media and the apologists and the sympathizers for him, he did denounce it, black and white, mind you, saying, "Oh yeah, he did denounce white." I said, when? Stand back. When has you ever said? When does stand back and stand by have ever been a denouncement or a verbal, just, I'm not for what you stand for. I think it's egregious. I can't stand with it. When has anyone has ever you stand back and stand by in a sense that suggests that I'm denouncing something? So it's
Well, yeah, the way he put it, it was like stand back and stand by, as in this is temporal. So
and I'm not and
hold off on what you got, but when I call you, I'll call you.
I'm not a Biden supporter neither. So there were things that were just watching it, I was just baffled. Like, yo, do we realize both of these bros is over 70?
Got a question though.
Okay.
It might be. I don't think it's a trick question.
My question with a question. All right.
Wait, what was your question?
No, it's okay.
I was waiting for that question too.
What?
I don't know what question.
Oh, my bad.
Question he has set up.
Oh, my bad. I missed the alley oop. My bad.
I'm sorry.
I missed it. Sorry.
I think it was more rhetorical than it was the one that actually needed.
I don't think a question.
And yes,
was
they are
stated.
both over
Yes.
70. That
They
is,
are
that is
over. They both
realized.
over 70.
But let's not forget, because folks like to poke fun at Joe Biden's mental faculties. Ronald Reagan had Alzheimer's even before he got into office and throughout his entire presidency. Like, it wasn't a post-presidency thing. Ronald Reagan had Alzheimer's throughout his entire presidency. So this,
I did not know that.
this isn't unprecedented by any stretch of the imagination. But
Right.
go ahead, ask whatever question you're going to ask. I'm just here for context. I'm just here for context.
So go ahead and ask.
Well, I've been seeing some stuff on Facebook to be exact, where all the arguments happen. And
Facebook is not the place, man.
Yeah,
Get
I've
away
seen
from
it.
Facebook,
That or
folks.
YouTube.
I've seen it.
Facebook is the
So here's my question, because people make this comment about racist and Trump, and in the same sentence. So I said, okay, if a person votes for Trump, does that mean they're racist? I was waiting for that pause.
With their
Yes.
understanding, no.
Okay.
Because in their minds, he's already denounced racism and white supremacy before. And I'm like, any opportunity he's had to say it on the stage where everybody's listening, he dropped the ball. Calling people, they're good, fine people on both sides, is not denouncing racism.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that again is you sympathizing for them. Because you don't, it's like something that a closet racist would do. Like, I can't eat, like I'll say it and put behind closed doors, but, when I got y'all in these closed sessions, like, yeah, I know this is just my job, bro. I gotta say, blah, but y'all know what it is, though.
Well, I don't even know if it's so much, and this is not speaking to the president directly. This is just a commentary on our country. It's easy to say I'm not a racist because the picture that most people get when you say racist is one of three things: a Klansman riding around with his pointy hood, some toothless redneck in the backwoods of nowhere riding around with their Confederate flag. You may shake your head no, Dave, but this is I'm talking about public opinion, because it's easy to distance yourself from that. Or someone walking around with like we saw back in the civil rights movement, especially during the stages of integration and whatnot, with the N-word blasted across a picket sign and yelling crazy in a black person's face.
I add a fourth one to that. All lives matter signs. I think people, if you have all lives matter, I think there's some people that would associate that to some level of.
I'm talking about just general perception, because here's why: it's easy to distance myself from that and say I'm not that. Mm-hmm. But the danger with what we see with racism now is what we're seeing now is the effects of the seeds that have been sown for generations in this country.
Correct.
So it's no longer state sponsored, it's now private citizens. Now, it may have been quote unquote legislated out of the system, but we still see the effects of the years of it being a part of the system. So it's easy for me to say I'm not a racist because I'm not like so and so, not realizing the systems and structures that have been set up that brought that into place. So to say, I think it is a false equivalency to say a vote for so-and-so means that you are this. Just like folks say, well, a vote for Joe Biden means that you're in agreement with pedophilia and babies being aborted and all of that. Mm. what you also have to take into account.
Thank you for saying that, by the way.
Yeah, we on both sides, we need to be honest. What we see in today's political climate in our country is the exact thing that the founding fathers, good, bad, and different, they had their flaws, but it's the very thing that they feared. It's the reason why, part of the reason why the Electoral College was put in place, because they didn't want the country to have its president and leaders elected by a mob, basically a popularity contest. No one, and this is why, fair or unfair, the right to vote was given to white landowning males, because to be a white landowning male meant that you probably did your homework, you knew what was going on, you had an understanding, you were probably educated and somewhat cultured. We don't see that today. Folks just vote based on what they're told to vote on, or based off of, going back to social media, all the stuff that they're fed via there. Folks don't really do their homework. They don't really do their fact checking. They don't do their research. So it's easy for us to vote based off of what we're shouting at one another and not really look at the nuance.
Or even that. I think in the piggyback, because I agree with everything that you just said, but if you look back at 2008 when Obama run, it was strictly because he was black.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I didn't even want to
no
admit that.
doubt about it.
Obama's election to the presidency in 2008 was a referendum on the almost 200-year history of this country. That was the moment for black folks to say, finally. Like, finally. For almost 200 years, we've sat up here and dealt with everything from slavery to, and we finally have this moment. Like, this is going to be our moment. Good, bad, wrong, right, whatever, however you felt about it, it was that moment. Now, on the flip side, though, it was taken by certain white folks, especially it was stated by Mitch McConnell, Senate Majority Leader on the Republican side, that, like, who needs reparations? Blacks don't need reparations. Y'all got a black president. I'm not saying anything out of context. This is exactly what he said. He said when you look at all the things that black people, essentially saying that you guys have gotten an equal playing field, so much so that you even got a black president. So when we neglect the nuance of things, because here's the other thing you have to include. When you're electing a president, you're also electing their advisors. You're also electing their cabinet. Those are the things that people should take a deeper look at, is who does this person intend to put in place in these positions
important to
of
know
power?
Know
all of it.
Propositions,
because the president,
layers, everything.
The president himself could just get in and really just end up being a puppet, really, because they're taking their cues off of whoever their advisors are, whoever that cabinet is. You're trusting, for example, your Secretary of Education to know what's going on in the education space. You're trusting your Secretary of Labor to know whatever is going on in the workforce. Secretary of the Interior to know what's going on with environmental things. So to make a blanket statement and say a vote for so-and-so means that you are something, I think that's a false equivalency, and I think it neglects the nuance. And nuance is the reason why we have a problem in this country coming to the table and having a conversation with someone who disagrees or believes or thinks ideologically different than us, because we refuse to see the nuance. We've been taught and lied to believe that it's black and white, when in reality there's spaces of gray, and gray is the ground, though uncomfortable it may be, where we can have grace-filled conversations to move past and understand, instead of saying, no, what you believe must be wrong, and so I'm not hearing any of it.
Right. That's the biggest takeaway from it, is that people need to have discussion. You need to learn how to communicate, because so many people say they're about it, and then when push comes to shove, they balk. They're like, oh, this is what that means? Yeah, nah, actually, I'm on the other fence.
Yeah. And it's funny because if you actually sit down and have a conversation.
Oh, and hold on, before you say that, the comment section is not a space to have conversation.
It is not.
Oh, no.
That is not the place to have a conversation.
Or a comment thread on Twitter.
Yeah.
But I can't avoid the temptation to check somebody in it.
Oh, you can check
So
somebody.
you can check somebody. I put it like this.
I check people all the time in the comment section.
Pick your battles.
Yeah.
Pick them wisely.
Right.
Because there's going to come a time where there are battles that are going to pick you, and them mugs is going to be draining.
So what
Them
pissed
things
me
gonna
off
piss
was
you
when,
off.
I'm sorry, that
Go
came
ahead.
from a place.
We can tell.
Was when I saw black people talking about, he denounced it. And I was like, okay. So all I would say was, okay, what is stand back and stand by me? And no one would ever respond.
And I think for
but
some,
no one would ever respond.
Right.
Or they would bypass it and they would talk about, well, Joe Biden don't. No. We don't. We gonna get to him in a second. Just answer me this question right here. Just when I ask you about white supremacy, and your immediate response, not even pause, is stand back and stand by. What does that mean to you? And they never answered.
Let me ask you this: were those, you talk about black people defending, black people who are defending, are they Christians?
Yes.
So here's the thing, and this is the issue that I really believe the church has. Shout out to my guy, Pastor Albert Tate over at Fellowship Monrovia. He says it like this: Christians, we have a hard time walking and chewing gum at the same time.
We do.
We do.
So.
Say that one more time.
Yeah.
We have a hard time walking and chewing gum at the same time. So
One more time, because I don't think they heard you.
walking and chewing gum at the same time.
Y'all heard that?
We
Good.
can't.
I can add an air horn to it, too.
Yeah, go walking and chewing gum at the same time. We can't divorce the fact that on the one hand, yes, the president did not denounce white supremacy in that moment. You could say he misspoke. I don't care what you say. The fact remains, he said, stand back and stand by, which triggered and grieved a lot of people. If you can't sit there and say, and walk and say, yes,
unbiasedly,
that was not right.
Right.
Without turning around and saying, well, Joe Biden, X, Y, and Z.
There it
We
is.
know both.
Right.
We know there's an issue with both.
Right.
Can we, in the moment, walk and acknowledge what happened in that moment? We can get back and chew gum and say, yes, Joe Biden
did that,
in these
yeah.
particular areas, you're not so cool. Which is why I firmly believe, as a follower of Jesus Christ, you should not, and it's been, listen, some of your favorite theologians and pastors of church history have said it themselves as well in regards to politics. You as a Christian should not, and in good conscience probably cannot, really belong to a political party.
Correct.
You should not, because neither side is aligned with the kingdom. But instead, we as Christians tend to force people to be we tend to give off this air as if we're a monolith. So if you are a believer, you must belong to X party based on these three things or these four issues, when in reality, that does not cover nor justify the scope and space of what Scripture says and what it looks like for us to be citizens of the kingdom of heaven first. So if your allegiance, don't tell me that your allegiance is to God first and country second, when every time I look at your Instagram bio and it says pro-Trump, pro-guns, pro babies, I mean pro life, and then it says pro God. No. Put God up top. Don't tell me that you are a follower of Jesus when it says first, pro Black Lives Matter. I don't know. Throw
It says everything else political.
Yeah, social
and
justice.
then you have God
and you got
here.
God at the bottom.
Right.
No, put God up
Guess
top
what?
first.
You know
Go for
who
it.
said something like that?
Who?
KB and dark skin.
Oh, it's true. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did though.
Let me read
Kilo,
what he said. He
read them
said-
dark skin
he
lyrics.
said-
Shout out to Kevin Burgess.
KB
Okay, to the second letter. What do you say?
Yeah.
KB said, "Church, are you hearing me? Invest in your neighbor, not conspiracies. How you politicize the mouth of the reverend? Ain't a left or a right side up in heaven. No,
Yeah.
faith is where we stand up. I pledge allegiance to the blood-stained banner.
There
Yes,
it
I
is.
love America, but heaven is the standard. Nations come and go, but his glory can't be damaged."
So and
Exactly what
so-
you're saying,
and-
KB said too.
So
Amen. Praise the Lord.
So
Two
and again,
snaps.
it's that issue with Christians where Trump will align himself with ideologies like abortion, like he doesn't talk. I mean, it sounds like he's against homosexuality, and the LGBTQA plus.
LGBTQ.
You sound a whole
LGBTQIA+.
Got you.
Yeah.
IA plus.
We're gonna save you.
Yeah. We got you. Don't worry.
We got you.
We got you.
And hold up a Bible, and all of a sudden, oh man, you ain't never seen no president do like that. But that is a means for you to hide your blatant racism, I feel like, behind Christian, this Christian image that he wants to portray that eases your conscience. So because he talks about abortion, he's against what God's against. Because he talked about
He's pro-Israel.
huh? Pro-Israel.
Goes hard for the state of Israel.
Yes, that must be a godly man, but not doing a self-reflection of self to understand, why am I more adamant about this man than I ever take time to pray and ask myself about? am I using these as a means to hide the real issue going on the inside of me?
I think back to the allegiance stuff. Like, this is where, and I'm not the most political person. I may not know that much, but what I do know is also being a follower of Jesus, and you see people, for example, Trump coming out saying, hey, I tested positive for COVID. You saw more people literally
My immediate reaction was to say, pray for Trump and his family.
laughing. Well, that's my point. Laughing and joking and all this stuff. And Christians, there are Christians that were doing that. And it was just like, this is what allegiance you was talking about as far as you're showing your allegiance.
Right.
There's another pastor on Facebook say, hey, your maturity is showing. Like, your immaturity is showing.
Yeah,
like, you need to cover your
Loud and clear.
cover yourself up because you look real stupid.
Right.
So I just, for me personally, seeing all this, I'm just a little irritated, if you will, when it comes to the body almost kind of schizophrenic. Like, they don't know what they want to, they don't know what they want, it feel like. You don't, and really, the choice is easy. Like, just follow Jesus. Make Jesus your top priority.
Well,
you know, as far as,
but we haven't made Jesus the top priority in the
right.
church forever.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, we haven't made him the priority. So now it looks like we are in the midst of, like, we feel like we have to pick sides everywhere. And it's like,
talking about if
this
he
is
had
not
to
a,
go- if they wish that he had it and he would die from it. I question every aspect of what your Christian.
yeah, this is not a jigsaw puzzle to me. This is not no, like, we're making it harder.
And someone
than what
says,
it
"Well,
is.
I don't believe it." Well, hey, look. Even if he lied, you need to pray for the condition of his heart that he would steep so low to use this as a means to lie about. So, I mean, in any aspect of it, you need to pray for him and his family and his staff.
And is so for me, when I first heard the news, I just truth be told, I thought, man, I maybe would have thought it would have happened sooner. Just looking at when you look at just his habits around COVID and all that stuff. But when it happened, truth be told, really my first thought was, worst case scenario, him and his wife pass. I'm thinking about their 14-year-old son.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to spend his teenage years you already are going to live this life, if parents are both alive, with all of that, seeing all that stuff on social media about both of your parents, seeing all that stuff, about your dad, whatever. Both of your parents pass, you're looking on social media and seeing people rejoicing over the death of your parents. Like, that's a hard knock situation. So if for anything, y'all, like, let's put yourself in the same shoes, in the same situation, and you would want a certain kind of mercy and a certain kind of prayer. Pray that mercy and pray that same kind of prayer for the president.
Yeah. It's episode 35 of Let 'Em Speak. We're going to roll out to Song of the Week, which is Andy Mineo featuring Wordsplayed, who hasn't rapped in a minute, which I'm excited about. It's called Shibuya Roll Call. My name is Cecil. Abraham Osahon is here. Steven is here. And I did not say it on the past 2 episodes, but I'm back. If you rest in God, you can defeat all the odds. We out of here. Let me look. I got it. That's all good.
Oh,
have a good week, y'all. We're gonna roll out to this song, and we'll see y'all next week.
The business card like a ninja.